The only difference between a hero and the villain is that the villain chooses to use that power in a way that is selfish and hurts other people. You have to cherish things in a different way when you know the clock is ticking, you are under pressure. People don't want to experience change, they just want to wake up, and it's different. Colonialism is the cousin of slavery. I like ambiguity because you may be the villain in someone else's story and the hero in your own, and I think very often, African American characters are either one thing or the other. You shouldn't have to be perfectly good or perfectly bad. You don't even have to be magical. When you make movies, it's such an important period of time, when you look back at each one of them. You want to be able to say that you did something that was a challenge and that changed you. The projects that I end up doing, that I want to be involved with in any way, have always been projects that will be impactful, for the most part, to my people, to Black people. It was a big thing for me to read Black writers. Fences, by August Wilson. James Baldwin's Amen Corner. The Fire Next Time. The autobiography of Malcolm X, of course. I'm an artist. Artists don't need permission to work. Regardless of whether I'm acting or not, I write. I write when I'm tired, in fact, because I believe your most pure thoughts surface. You're not free unless you can show the good and the bad, all sides of them. So to me, when I play a character, it's important that I can show every aspect of them. We live in a world where people can ridicule you at the push of the button. They can question you at the push of a button. I would go through these cycles of being really focused on work, and not being around anyone, to being around everyone. And that could be distracting. It was nothing or everything. I'm from Anderson, South Carolina, but I grew up in the South. So I know what it is to ride to school and have Confederate flags flying from trucks in front of me and behind me, to see a parking lot full of people with Confederate flags and know what that means. I've been stopped by police for no reason. When you play characters, you shouldn't just be putting on their characteristics, you should be finding it inside yourself. I try to look at every role the same way, regardless of whether the character is real or the character is a fantasy. I always start from myself, because you have to know yourself first. I think there's a difference between a working actor, a movie star, and a celebrity. They're all three different things. I'm not afraid to work. I thought I would draw or paint or be an architect. I was always drawing portraits. My mom put me in art classes in the summer. As an African American actor, a lot of our stories haven't been told. There's the phrase of making America great again, but how did we make America great? Who did it? It was Thurgood Marshall who did it. It was Thurgood Marshall who made America live up to its Constitution, to its dream. He pushed the envelope to make sure that we were equal. Nobody has to give me permission to write. Every year, Hollywood is looking for that new, white leading man and new white starlet that audiences fall in love with. But they're not looking for the next Denzel Washington, Will Smith, or Sidney Poitier. I would love to have an ocean of love right now. That said, the number one rule of acting is, do not seek approval from the audience. People don't realize that. You can't do stuff to get applause. You have to live in the truth. People of African descent, most of us grew up accepting and loving Spider-Man. I still love Spider-Man. I still love the Incredible Hulk. I still have those characters that were white role models, superheroes, heroes, whatever you want to call it. You basically had no choice but to accept those.